Racing takes place out at Turffontein on Sunday, the 17th of December 2023. We are racing on the standside track, and race number 1 is set to get underway at 12:15 over the 1160 meter trip. We've got the feature on the afternoon, which is the Mike de Kock Ipitombi Challenger Group 2 event, and I'm looking forward to that contest. Bavarian Beauty, give me another going head to head. They're at the top of the betting boards, and let's see if it does happen to be a 2-horse race come race number 7. But joining me on the line is Alistair Conan. Alistair, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks, Raheel. It's obviously a massive weekend of racing, and this just rounds it off with the Mike de Kock Ipitombi Challenge. Traditionally, it's a race that suits the younger horses. I don't know how it's going to work out this year, because my inkling is that an older horse is going to be the horse that they all need to beat. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We're just over a week out from Christmas as well, so hopefully we can pack the pocket with a little bit of extra Christmas cheer.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, race number 1 over 1160 meters. It is the start of the bar pot. Mia Moo is the favorite here at 7-10. At 5-1 about Follow the Sun, 6-1 Gold Agent, 12-1 and Better Bar. Those you can scratch number 4. Insufficient recovery time after running midweek in a Work Riders event. And Mia Moo, is this filly your top selection? Obviously returning off a lengthy layoff, but she's run behind Jesby Lecker. That form line has held up quite nicely. And in terms of depth of this lineup, it's quite shallow.
Yeah, Raheel, Mia Moo should win, drawn towards the outside on what's going to be probably a perfect track. There's been quite a lot of rain in Joburg, but I see that's due to clear, and Sunday should be a great day. So you'd want an outside draw on a track that the sting is out of. Mia Moo should win. There's not much else here. The scratching number 4, Bloop Bloop, makes it even easier. Number 1, Gold Agent, should run better than she did last time out to Virgin River. There was a horse who ran actually not too far away from Gold Agent last time out, who came out and franked that form to make it look a little bit better. But I don't think 17 lengths to Virgin River is anywhere near as 2.5 lengths to just be like a Richard Faree takes a ride for Sean Terry. 7 Mia Moo, best bet on the card. She should win, and I think the price is still quite generous, to be fair. I think she'll start even shorter.
That's Mia Moo at around 7-10. We move along to race number 2, a graduation over the 1100 meter trip. 12:50 is the off time, the start of the place accumulator. You can scratch a number 4, Troppo Veloce, eligible run after winning midweek, and she looks to be a filly on the up and a filly that's going places. Now, Elegant Ice is the favorite at 15-10. Swing Upon a Star, 16-10. It's 7-2 about Cornwall, 7-1 and Better Bar. Those. Now, this filly Elegant Ice, I was pleased with a comeback run behind Cullinan Blue, and I think she could be the right horse in this race, especially over this track and trip.
I think she's a reasonable quality, Raheel. She's the second best weighted horse in the race, behind number 1, Swing Upon a Star, who obviously earned his rating by winning the Umzumkulu, or the Umkamazi rather, on Gold Cup Day nearly 18 months ago, and he's not won since, despite a few good runs. I put number 1, Swing Upon a Star, in the race, but the place accumulator is my suggested bet, and I think number 6, Elegant Ice, will win. The only time she blotted her copybook was over a distance, in my opinion, too far for her. I think she's a very high quality sprinting filly, and with 54.5 kilos on her back, inform jockey, inform trainer, there's no real reason to look past her. I think she's got some targets to come this season. I don't know whether Hollywoodbets Scottsville will be a target for her come May or June, but the point is, I think number 6, Elegant Ice, she's definitely held in high regard. She brings a high level of form. She would have probably just needed that last run. It was still a very good effort behind Cullinan Blue. There's just too much in her favour for me. So banker in the first leg of the place accumulator, and potentially even a double. You're not gonna get rich. You're not gonna be able to buy a new property with a double Mia Moo onto Elegant Ice, but it will certainly tee you up for the pick 6, which starts a race later.
Yeah, Elegant Ice definitely the one to beat, and side in with this one in race number 2. We're going to move along to race number 3 over 1160 meters. This is a maiden plate, which will be the start of the pick 6. And Secret Chord is your 11-10 favorite. Dow Solo at 22-10. Major Strides 5-1, 6-1 Pacific, 8-1 and Better Bar. Those. Royal Summons is out. Now, this horse, Sutherland, despite being a son of Silvano, obviously related to the talented Thunderstruck, I thought he could be a player on debut, but he could just need the outing. First run for Stuart Pettigrew, Sianda Sosibu aboard. Maybe he's one to keep an eye on.
I agree with that. not knowing anything about what's expected with the son of Silvana, but as you mentioned, half brother to Thunderstruck. So if he's got any of the mare's precocious, I remember Varicate. I think she was trained by Justin Snaith, and she was precocious. She was quick. She started her career with a bang, and then obviously she's provided us with a Grade 1 winner in the form of Thunderstruck. I don't know what the yards are expecting. I do normally hear from Pettigrew, but the yards come back to life for what it's worth. So if there's any money, and believe me, if there are any expectations, there will be money with Pettigrew and those owners, then respect that. But for now, the scratching of number 5 Royal Summons I think helps the cause a bit. Number 1 Secret Chord and 7 Doe Solo. Doe Solo is my top choice because King of the Gauls obviously came here to Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, won a good race. Beamanesque has franked that form. Beamanesque was out of the King of the Gauls run first time, as was that very good horse of Frank Robinson's, owned by Sid Mudley, who went up for the Betway Dingo, or the Johnson Workwear Dingo. And so number 7 Doe Solo, I think, yeah, correct. I think brings some good enough form on that run to King of the Gauls to suggest that she will be the one that they all need to beat. Also first run for Tony Peter, that normally brings a spark. Number 1 Secret Chord has to be respected, has to go into the play for the simple reason that he's ready to win. If he won the race, it would not surprise me one iota. He's going to get his day in the sun sooner rather than later. It could even be in the first leg of the Pick Six. So I think as far as the Pick Six is concerned, use the first timer rule to your advantage. At the PA, I've gone both horses, being greedy and hoping to double up.
Numbers 1 and 7 are 2 horses that could possibly fight it out in race number 3. Moving along to race number 4, over 2,000 meters, and MR 72 handicap. 2 o'clock is the off time, the start of Jackpot 1. Favorite Sparkling Jubilee at 18 to 10. Monsieur Cheval at 3 to 1. 4 to 1 about Romeo's Magic. It's 9 to 2 Vesuvio. 8 to 1 and Better Bar Those. What's your thoughts on race number 4? You've got a top selection?
Yeah, I do actually. I think races 4 and 5, for what it's worth, are the 2 trickiest races on the card. Race 8 as well, but at least in race 8, I think you can eliminate half the field. I really like number 3, Vesuvio here, Raheel. So Mango Kamalo rides for Tyro and Zaki. Ignore the last run down the Vaal Straight. As we know, the Vaal Straights are something that you can or you can't. His 2 runs down the Vaal Straight are putrid. 28th of September finished 11 lengths to Eiffel Tower, and then last time 6 lengths to Hotter Ruby. Although in his defense, he seemed to clear a few late on. Going 2,000 meters for the second time in his career is a little bit of a query, but the only time he's been that trip, he carried 50 kilos and ran 2.5 lengths to Raffles, a horse who was a number of divisions above this level. His runs to Player, his penultimate start to Redo, I think are good enough to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I'm going to go with number 3, Vesuvio, as my top choice. My backup will be number 5, Sparkling Jubilee. She made up a lot of ground late over the closing stages. She goes 2,000 meters also for the second time in her career. The first time she did might have been a bit too soon for her, and also that was a blazing hot day at the Vaal. I remember that vividly. It was just after the rains. I was in Dubai, and I'm just thinking one of Candace's horses actually won on that day. I think it might have been Houston, and she was saying how hot it was that day, and it was on the back of rain, and there was doubt they were going to race. So the fatigued reports, the point I'm getting to is the fatigued report was no surprise on that occasion. So she's worth another dance over 2,000 meters, is number 5, Sparkling Jubilee. Just on what she showed last time, she ran like the extra distance will stand her in good stead. Richard Free takes the ride, which is also going to be a benefit. So 3 and 5 for me.
That's number 3, Vesuvio. Top selection at 9 to 2. Could certainly be some nice value in the 4th race on the card. Race number 5, 2,000 meters, and fillies and mares 80 handicap. 14:35 is the off time, the start of Jackpot 2. And your favorite is Kind Judy at 3 to 1. 33 to 10 about Avon Toast. 7 to 2 Soldier's Way. 9 to 2 Ideal Future. Then 11 to 2 and Better Bar Those. Now, Kind Judy won impressively last time out, and I think you were spot on the mark because you expected her to turn the form around with the stable companion Burmese Tiara. She won well, but I can't see her winning again, especially after she's gone up 8 points for that latest success, being a 6-year-old that's almost had 50 starts. I think she's vulnerable here, and the horses that I would probably lean towards numbers 1 and 2.
I think they're all vulnerable here, Raheel. I think there are a lot of disclaimers with with all the runners in this race. I've narrowed it down on my P8 to 3, 5, and 6, but with no degree of confidence. This is just a matter of survival. I think the biggest thing is number 6, Ideal Future, gets the services of Richard Fourie and gets draw 1 at Turffontein. That's got to be a huge lift. Has been ridden by apprentices at her last, 6 starts, and now gets Fourie on board, and she's not run badly. She does need a certain type of ride. She drops it on you at the top of the straight, and I'd probably take the stance that she'll be better with the Val run of 1,000 meters just to warm up, but 800 meters with Richard Fourie on board, I suspect that Richard will get mobile on her a little bit earlier. So 6, Ideal Future's a runner I respect, as is number 5, Pretty in Pearls. Although being obliterated to Vitblit, she's so upwardly mobile. We got Pilasanda and Oli taking the ride for Paul Matchett. She's been on the boil for a while. She's run solid races, and at this level she should run another solid race. And then we got number 3, Kind Judy. As you say, it's a big penalty. It's a hard ask. Samango Kamalo's on board for Bar and Boots, and the Stalter Judpot. What you see is what you get. She's going to be a player as well. I'm once bitten, twice shy with number 2, Avo on Toast. I must be honest, I've been with her so many times, and she stepped up in distance for the first time. For me, that's a little bit of a question mark, I must confess, because her half-sister, Red Saxon, although being a grade 1 winner, fell across the line over 1,800 meters, and every time he was tested over 2,000 meters or further, he fluffed his line. So I know that Avo on Toast is about twice over Red Saxon's by Red Ray, so that might lift Avo on Toast stamina ever so slightly, but I would like to get a bit of proof in the pudding before any conviction.
3, 5, and 6 numbers for Alistair in race number 5, and Ideal Future, Richard Fourie, a huge jockey strike here, so that could probably be the right one in the race, especially from draw number 1. Moving along to race number 6. An MR 96 handicap over 1,400 meters. Now, this is a race that I thought was very, very trappy, and there's a horse here at 25 to 1 in the market that I give a each way chance to. Number 1, Team Gold. Back in the handicap for some time. He's been taking on a lot stronger company. And when we have a look at his last sort of 5 starts, I think those horses that beat him, I think they'd win in this type of race. So I think at 25 to 1, he could be worth an each way play, but it looks to be quite a trappy race.
If it was the inside track, I would have a lot more time for number 1, Team Gold. I must confess, Raheel, I think he just battles to run his best races on the stand side track. There have been sparks. He's obviously won on the track before, but that was long before he was rated. Well, his ratings dropped, but long before he was rated in the high 90s. So I think that might hold him back. Inside track for me for number 1, Team Gold. The 2 horses I've gone with are 2, Argo Alley, and 6, Captain of Grit. You'll need a few others in the pick 6, obviously. Argo Alley, already winner of the Heritage Consolation last time, off a light weight. Now has 59 kilos to shoulder. Runs under a 3-pound penalty after beating Tsar Bomber, but draw 1's going to be a huge advantage for number 2, Argo Alley, and he's a fit horse. Although I don't think the rain that's been around Joburg this week would compromise these horses. Maybe when we get to Thursday's card, we might have to think a little bit harder. So fit horse, that's got to be in number 2, Argo Alley's favour. And then number 6, Captain of Grit. It was actually quite a bitter pill to swallow last time out when he got beaten by Funky Music for no other reason that he just had no luck in running. Richard Fourie was his agent was very quick to get on the phone again with number 6, Captain of Grit. He really wanted to ride him again, so that's got to be a good sign. Wherever Captain of Grit is, number 8, Free Movement, should be right there from their run on the 16th of November. Although Captain of Grit easily beat Free Movement, the point is that Free Movement has a nice swing at the weights, and Samango Kamalo is sweating down to 53. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts up half a kilo after that, but the point is there shouldn't be too much between them.
Yeah, I think even a horse like Turpitz could be worth an inclusion here with a Cabello board for Brett Crawford, a runner that has run well fresh before and could be on the premises once again. Race number 7, the feature on the afternoon, 15:45 is the off time. Mike de Kock, Ipi Tombi Challenge, 1,600 meters the distance. And when we have a look at this event, the top 2 in the market, give me another filly that is on the up. She continues to catch the imagination. She's 3 from 3, a super win last time out in the Fillies Mile, and she's obviously going places. And then you've got Bavarian Beauty, who won quite well last time out, returning off that Group 1 success. She's at 5 to 2, Feather Boa at 11 to 2, and Emirates Gina is at 10 to 1. I suspect you are leaning towards Feather Boa in this contest.
Yeah, I like Featherboa quite a bit here, Raheel. She was outrunning last time out by Savannah Storm, giving Savannah Storm 6 kilos. But I know that she was undercooked going into that race with an eye on this. She is performed at the highest level, although not won at the highest level. She's got big runs at grade 1 level. She nearly won the Wilkebos South African Fillies Classic. She probably should have won that, but bless my stars, got the nose down. Diego de Gavea takes the ride, which was a bit of a flashback because Diego lost his job after riding Featherboa in her second career start when she ducked away and got beaten by Emma Regina. But all the same, I think she's obviously a high quality filly. Third run after a rest with an eye on this race. As mentioned, this is traditionally a race that suits the younger horses. So Bavarian Beauty, Give Me Another, and My Soulmate at the weights do have an advantage historically, not according to the official handicapping, obviously. But the point is, if you go through the records here, you'll see a lot of 3-year-olds have won this race. But I think number 2, Featherboa, might just have the edge this time around. Stuart Pettigrew's yards come back to life. Like I said, Diego de Gavea takes the ride, and she'll be perfectly teed up. She'll come from off the pace as she normally does, and there is a bit of evidence of pace in this race. So I think everything will go according to plan for number 2, Featherboa, and if not winning, she ought to be right there. I'd make her a very solid place accumulator banker. Give Me Another is going to be tested now for the first time. She's obviously high class. She's out the top draw, this daughter of Give Me the Green Light. But going from the Fillies Mile and the way that she turned it on was so encouraging. And now taking on these older, well-established, well-proven horses as opposed to her own age group, and she's not been exposed to this level. This is where we're going to learn a lot about Give Me Another. I think we'll learn plenty and get proof of her undoubted ability, but I'm just going to lean towards the more battle-hardened number 2, Featherboa. This is the big league now for number 8, Give Me Another. There's no doubt that she's up to it, and I reckon when she's running in the big league in 6 months' time, when we get to the end of the Halfveld season or the start of champion season down in Durban, she'll be more than able to acquit herself. But I'm just my toes are in the water with number 8, Give Me Another, just waiting to see how she goes here. If she wins this, then boy, the sky's the limit. Then I don't think there'll be too many 3-year-old fillies or even fillies around the country who'll be rushing to take her on. I think they'll be looking for a name in the nom sheet. Yeah. Hoping that she's not there in the nom sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. She's certainly on the up, and her last win, I was just blown away by the way she turned it on Betway Summer Cup Day, and she's a filly that all eyes will be on in race number 7. But Alistair, he likes number 2, Featherboa, hoping for some consolation on last year's event where she was terribly unlucky when beaten behind Give Me a Shot. Race number 8. 1600 meters, an MR80 handicap over 1600 meters, and the final race on the day, Fort Lauderdale tops the boards at 33-10, 4-1 Colorado Creek, 9-2 Godfather, 5-1 Willow Express, 7-1 in Better Bar. Those now, you mentioned races 4, 5, 8 trappy races, and I think this is a field race.
Yeah, potentially is a field race in the pick 6 just to be safe, checking on your perm. But I'm of the opinion that you can at least draw a line through through a few horses in this race. You might get away with including half the field. In my place accumulator, I've got 4 runners, 1, 2, 4, and 6, with my top choice being my old favourite here, Willow Express. Chase Morjan gets the ride for Sean Terry. I think this is now the right time, or close to the right time and place. I know he's not won over a mile. 1400 metres would be better in my opinion, but the point is his rating now down to a workable level. He's a fit horse, ran in the Heritage Consolation last time out. He doesn't like the Vaal Straight either. He ran a fair race. He's just been on my radar for long enough. So I'm going to go with number 4, Willow Express, as an each-way suggestion in the last race. If he doesn't win, I expect him to be right there. 1, Fort Lauderdale, always had a question mark about him staying over a mile, but last time he ran as if he would get the trip, although he was ridden cold by Piers Stratham. He's got a lot of weight to lug around, number 1, Fort Lauderdale. What does that mean? That means 61 kilos, so it's not going to be too easy for him, but I think he'll be dropped in again and asked to do his best work late, so respect him. Go watch the run of number 2, the Cop, last time out. I don't know how he finished 3.5 lengths behind Sunshine Day. He was floundering at the 400 metres mark, but stayed on strongly. Donald Geertsen takes the ride. He might be 1 run away from really hitting his straps, but I like what I saw last time out, so I'm going to trust my eye with that. And then number 6, Toffers, just needed his last run behind Sunshine Day. He should run better. He can do anything on race day, can number 6, Toffers. So with him, it's pretty much run a big race or go completely missing. But the expectation is he'll run a lot better this time, because he just needed that last run so badly. He's doing well and looking well.
Yeah, we've gone for a couple of horses at a bit of a price here. So if you are running into the final leg of the place accumulator, which I suspect you will be, and you managed to drop a few tickets, a few fancied runners. You've certainly sitting on a bit of cash in race number 8, which is set to get underway at 4:20. We're going to move along to the suggested bet now, and Alistair will take us through his suggested bet for racing out at Turffontein on Sunday. Alistair, take it away with your place accumulator.
So that starts in race 2 at 10-1. I've opened up with a banker in the form of number 6, Elegant Ice, by numbers 1 and 7, Secret Chord and Dal Solo. Probably don't need both. Then I've got numbers 3 and 5, Vesuvio and Sparkling Jubilee in leg 3. Leg 4, gone 3, Kind Judy, 5, Pretty and Pearls, and 6, Ideal Future. By 2 and 6, Argo Alley and Captain of Grit. By banker number 2, Feather Boa, and then the final leg 1, 2, 4, and 6, Fort Lauderdale, The Cop, Willow Express, and Toffers.
Alistair, thanks very much for your time. All the best, and obviously have a wonderful day out at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on this Saturday. We are looking forward to the Cape Guineas. Sets to be an exciting contest.
Yeah, it's one of the great races on the South African racing calendar. There is a school of thought that says it might look like a little bit of an underpar Hollywoodbets Cape Guineas. I disagree. I think in 6 months' time there'll be serious racehorses coming out of this edition. I would love to have seen more Joburg horses, potentially a few Durban horses in the race, but we've only got one from out of town in the form of Tail of the Comet. But it's a great race day, and this place is going to be absolutely heaving until around midnight.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly looks to be a cracking contest and a cracking race card out at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth on Saturday, and you can catch all of the action on Gallop TV. Once again, thanks to Alistair Cohen. All the best to you as the punter with racing over the weekend, and especially on Sunday. Hopefully, Alistair has managed to guide you in the right direction and you make yourself lots of cash.